Good morning, brothers and Christ. Welcome to another Reading Through the Bible series with Law of Christ Ministries. This is part 233 of our daily scripture reading, continuing in the book of 2 Kings chapter 12. As a reminder, here on the left side, we have the Septuagint, the Greek translation of the Old Testament. On the right side, we have the Masoretic, which is the Hebrew, so I'm having it side by side. But I prefer, or at least right now, I'm reading the Old Testament through the Septuagint. But anyways, we'll pick it up. 2 Kings chapter 12, verse 1. In the 7th year of Jehu, Joash became king and reigned 40 years in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Abiah of Barsabeh. And Jehu did what was right in the sight of the Lord all the days that Jodiah the priest enlightened him. Yet some of the high places were not removed, and the peoples were still sacrificing there and making incense offerings on the high places. And Jehoaz said to the priests, all the money of the holy things that is brought into the house of the Lord, assessment money, when a man receives assessment money, all money, whatever arises in a man's heart to bring into the Lord's house, let the priests take for themselves a man from their cell, and they shall secure the bedeck of the house and everything, and wherever a bedeck is discovered. And it happened in the 23rd year of King Jehoaz that the priests had not strengthened the bedeck of the house. And Joaz the king summoned Jehoiada the priest and said to them, why is it that you were not strengthened the bedeck of the house? And now do you take money from yourselves because you shall donate it for the bedeck of the house? And the priests agreed not to take money from the people and not to strengthen the bedeck of the house. And Jodiah the priest took one chest and bore a hole on its lid and set beside Yambin in the house of a man of the Lord's house. And the priests who guard the threshold gave all the money that was found in the Lord's house. And it happened when they saw that the money in the chest was much, that the secretary of the king went up, and the great priests, they bundled and counted the money that was found in the Lord's house. And they gave the money that had been prepared into the hands of those doing the work of the overseers of the Lord's house, and they paid it out to the workers in the wood and to the builders who were working in the Lord's house, and the wall builders and to the quarriers of stone to buy wood and quarry stone to restrain the bedeck of the Lord's house for all that was paid on the house to strengthen it. Yet there shall not be made for the Lord's house silver doors, nails, saucers, and trumpets, and golden vessels, and silver vessels from the money that was brought into the Lord's house. For they shall give it to those doing the work, and they strengthened the Lord's house with it. And they went not computing the men into whose hands they were giving the money to give to those doing the work, for they dealt honestly. Money for sin and money for error, whatever was brought into the Lord's house belonged to the priests. Then Hazael, king of Syria, went up to fight against Geth and seized it in advance for himself. And Hazael fixed his face to go up against Jerusalem. And Joaz, king of Judah, took all the holy things that Jehoshaphat and Horam and Ochazias, his father, king of Judah, had deducted from his own holy things, and all the gold that was found in the treasuries of the Lord's house, of the king's house, and sent these to Hazael, king of Syria, and he went up to Jerusalem. And the rest of the history of Joaz and all that he did, behold, are these things not written in the book of the histories of the days of the king of Judah? And his slaves arose and bound an entire bond and struck Joaz in the Mallow's house in Gaalah, and Jozachar of Jarmuth and Jezaboth, his son, man, these names are so weird. His son Somer, his slaves struck him, and he died. And they buried him with his fathers in the city of David, and Amasai's, his son, reigned in his stead. All right, guys, we're going to stop there for today. Lord willing, we'll be back tomorrow. Peace and blessings.